David's confidence in God's protection, established in verses 3 through 4, flows into the peaceful rest he describes in Psalm 3, verses 5 through 6. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. These verses reveal the practical outcome of David's trust in God, the ability to sleep during mortal danger. What appears simple on the surface carries profound theological significance. The statement, "I laid me down and slept," seems unremarkable until one recalls David's circumstances. The enemies of David surround him. David flees from his own son, who seeks his throne and his life. Yet David experiences peaceful rest, not the fitful dozing of an anxious fugitive, but genuine and restorative sleep. Sleep represents one of the most vulnerable human states. In sleep, David couldn't defend himself. He couldn't monitor enemy movements, and he couldn't plan escape routes. Yet David slept anyway. This physical act of sleeping becomes a powerful demonstration of his spiritual trust. David's body expresses what his heart believes, that God's protection remains sufficient even when his own vigilance ceases. The phrase, "I woke again," carries a note of surprise or wonder. David marvels not just that he slept, but that he awoke in safety. Each morning represents fresh evidence of God's protection. While David slept, God remains awake. While he rests, God works. The Hebrew verb translated sustained conveys the image of God supporting or upholding David throughout the night. This experience of divine sustenance throughout the night transforms David's outlook toward the coming day. Verse 6 shifts from David's testimony about the past to his present trust. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. The same enemies described in verses 1 to 2 remain, but David's attitude towards them changes due to God's protection. The phrase, "I will not be afraid," expresses a determination rather than a temporary emotional state. David does not deny the reality of the threat. He acknowledges that many thousands are all around him, but he refuses to grant these enemies power over his emotions. Their physical advantage couldn't overcome David's spiritual confidence. The military imagery of enemies set against me round about depicts a classic siege situation with no apparent escape route. From the human perspective, David faces impossible odds, yet his declaration of fearlessness stems not from military strategy, but from his confidence in the Lord. The same God who preserved him through the night would also protect him through the day. These verses show the practical peace that flows from true faith. David's trust was not theoretical. His faith in the Lord enables David to rest when anxiety would overcome most people. David's experience shows how true faith transcends mere intellectual assent into a spiritual reality. For Christian readers, these verses offer a powerful example of how to respond to threatening circumstances. They show how trust in God produces a practical calm, even in a crisis. The ability to rest during seasons of opposition shows us faith's authenticity. This passage also highlights the connection between our experience and our present confidence. David's peaceful night strengthens his resolve for the challenging day ahead. Likewise, each experience of God's faithfulness builds in us a greater capacity to face future threats without fear. The Lord, who has proven trustworthy in the past, will remain faithful.